Emotional recalibration and sacred solitude is what is required of you today, because we are going through a major heart chakra expansion. That's what's underway within the collective. Whether you're feeling an old grief resurfacing or an ache for a connection you can't quite name, this energy is making space for this new earth frequency. And so maybe it's time to walk away. What is no longer nourishing your soul? Ask yourself, what emotional weight do you need to release in order to trust this pull to this higher ground? Because even if you're feeling alone today, or like others just don't get it, this is not a time for external collaboration or external validation. It's a call home to yourself. Lean into your own wisdom today, because the energy today is guiding you inward. It's asking you to trust in the messages coming from within, and it is illuminating the path. That's exactly what's happening today. And so I want to remind you, you're not alone. You're being guided to build something from the inside out. And so if this message is for you, if it's resonating, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and let's get into today's message. Hey, good morning. Welcome in. Welcome back, everyone. It is Laura from Tenacious Taurus Tarot and Astro Insights, and we're going to talk about these cosmic energies today, because we do have the moon moving into Virgo, and it is going to remain unaspected all day. We don't have any major transits going exact today, although we do have these energies building leading into the full moon in Libra. And so this is going to be a day, I want to say, of inner guidance. The energies today are asking us to sit in this soul silence. That's exactly what came through, soul silence. And so we're getting to a place, I want to say, of emotional innocence and mastery through surrender. And so the energy is feeling really like a cosmic pause. And so I think we're all being called to pause, to go within, to reflect. You think of the Virgo energy connected to the Hermit. I am also a Virgo moon, and the universe, I feel, is asking us to intentionally sit in silence and in stillness today, so we can truly hear what matters from inside the house. And so the moon in Virgo does desire order. It does desire structure, healing. And the biggest thing is discernment, I think, in the energies today. And so with the moon remaining unaspected all day, I really had to sit with that. It kind of feels like, I want to say, like floating in an energetic vacuum. That's really what it felt like looking at the astrology. And you might feel disconnected from your usual flow of energies today. And I do feel the universe is just asking us to gently turn down the volume. Where do you need to turn down the volume so you can better hear that inner voice, right? And so the Hermit energy connected to the Major Arcana card is pretty loud today. The Hermit is a big call to retreat inwardly, right? The Hermit goes within, it shines the light on the shadowy aspects, and it takes that time to re-identify with the self and to seek that own light rather than looking for direction externally, okay? And it's not isolation out of fear. It's really not isolation out of fear. And so solitude for revelation is really what the energies are asking us of today, especially as we move closer to that Libra full moon. And so emotional curiosity is another energy that I feel is coming through in the collective today. Intuition and messages from the heart. So I did grab the Psychic Tarot of the Heart today. That's the tarot deck that we're going to use. It's kind of like an oracle deck feel. And I feel too, master number 22 and 44 showed up very loud in my meditation this morning. And so right now we're anchoring in a lot of higher light codes. You're probably feeling the DNA structure shifting within your physical vessel. And this will also trigger that energy of needing to sit in stillness, to go within, to rest and to recover and to reintegrate all of these higher ascension codes that are being saturated in the collective today. And so master number 22 is a master builder. It's all about divine purpose, foundations, our spiritual architecture. And so it's this energy, I want to say, where we are ready. We're ready to take our visions. We're ready to make it real. And I do feel this is aligning with that Fool energy. Master number 22 is connected to key 22 in the tarot, which is the Fool card, which does represent infinite potential. When you think of the zero, A 0 is like a God point energy, and it's infinite potential, is God energy. And so where do you need to take a leap of faith? But I think you need to pause too before taking that leap of faith. And today's energy, I want to say, it's not really about impulsive movement, but it's about preparing for the leap. We're preparing for the leap. We're getting clear inside today. And master number 44 is connected to the 4 of Cups, but it's also connected to this energy of being a master healer, a grounded guide. And we are in the Piscean North Node, the Virgo South Node, and this is all about grounding in the mystic healers of 5D Earth. And so I do feel this energy is showing up to bring forward emotional revelations today. And we do need to recognize all of the gifts we've been overlooking, because maybe we've been too busy focusing on what we're missing or what we don't have. So really sit with that today and ponder that, because I think Spirit is trying to offer all of us a moment to go within, to release the distractions, so we can see what it is that we need to see on the heart. And so the integration message today was pretty loud. Let this be a day of pause, reflection, and feeling. We have to feel to heal, because there's healing in the stillness. There's always going to be healing in that stillness, and clarity in the quiet. And so what Spirit has placed right in front of you, I feel, has probably been overlooked due to some type of emotional overwhelm. And so it's not because something is wrong, but I do feel something sacred is about to emerge in each of our lives and within the collective. And so where do you need to step away from all of the noise, all of the distractions, and to go into the heart rather than the mind right now, I think is a big message, right? And so oftentimes we can get stuck up in the mind and the patterns, and we forget to align and drop back into the heart. And so we're kind of standing at the edge of a brand new beginning here. But we first got to get our footing and check ourselves before we can go into this brand new cycle after the full moon in Libra. So that's what I've got with the astrology, because it really was just an inner message that came through. I think we're going to dig deeper into the cards. So stick around. Let's see what the messages have to say today. And I'll see you on the other side of the shuffle. All right, let's talk about these cards. I haven't done it this style in a while, and I've had several people reach out and say they'd like to see me back on camera. So let's jump into these messages today, and we're going to jump in with the oracle cards. And so the first oracle card that came out is priorities, right? And so right now I think we are being bathed in a lot of golden light with these ascension codes that are coming in, and it's a 52 card. I do feel a Queen of Swords energy coming through, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I do think this tightly connects to the full moon in Libra coming in, and we're all being asked to kind of go in and receive these light code activations and to reprioritize our life, our goals, and what is really important to us. And this is all about the building blocks for our life. And so this does connect to that master number 22, which is the master builder number. And so 2 also breaks down to 4, which is the energy of foundations. And so right now I feel you're being asked to cut out anything that is an unhealthy habit. With that Queen of Swords energy coming through, that Queen of Swords is also calling us to have discernment. It is this energy, I feel, too, of grounding in that earthly mission connected to your path, your healing path. The next card out, we did get the communication card. And so I do feel this is about receiving divine communication. And there's another layer to this. And I kept hearing that song Message in a Bottle with the message in a bottle. And so there is this energy too coming through, I feel, about bottled up communication or blocked communication in the energies today. It's a 5 card, and so there is a change. As I'm pre-recording this message, I am recording it the day that Mercury does station direct, and so communication might be a little challenging. But we are being asked to speak up and be heard, but we do have to calm our emotional waters first. It's kind of like this energy of washing up on shore. And so you could be receiving a long-awaited message today. That's quite possible now that Mercury has finally stationed direct. And then the last card out was the Ancestors card. If you remember, this one showed up on the cut when I cut the Oracle deck. And so you've got thousands of ancestors standing behind you, supporting you. And this is also a 34 card. And so there is an 8 of Wands quality coming through. And so this is why we're being asked to pause and to go in and to be still today, so we can receive that guidance from our ancestors, our guides, the archangels, and our crossed over loved ones. And so we do have the support and the appreciation of our guides and our ancestors on this healing journey. And so many of us on the twin flame path and on the awakening journey, we are asked to heal generational wounding, generational trauma, ancestral patterns that have plagued our lineage throughout lifetimes. And we are the guiding light for the next 7 generations to come. And so the work that we do now is healing all of the generations to come after us. And so I do feel there is this energy too coming forward of accelerated ascension, accelerated motion. Let's talk about the bottom of the deck. It is the gold cup. I want to say the cup of replenishment. And if that doesn't confirm what came through for me in channeling the energies, I don't know what does. And so you see the infinity symbol. There's almost like a magician quality. And when I think of the golden cup, it's like the golden chalice, right? It's also this energy of filling our own cup first. And it does hold a tower quality to the message today. And when the tower comes, the healing comes after the tower. And then we rebuild with that master number 22, that master builder energy. And so you are being asked to replenish your reserves, to fill your own cup today, to rest, to go within, to reflect, to recalibrate, and to embrace this energy through the heart chakra. Whenever there's a cup energy comes through, it is definitely connected to emotions, and so your emotions might feel extra heavy today as we go within and shine that light. And with the infinity symbol too, we're breaking those patterns, those looping patterns that keep repeating throughout our ancestry, okay? So let's talk about this tarot spread. We'll go row by row, but let's first mention this center row because we did get the heart chakra in reversed. There is a major heart chakra purge going on this week, and I am not immune to the heart chakra purge. I have been purging plenty of emotions connected to past patterns, past pain, past heartbreaks. I do feel an emperor quality coming through, whether you are purging your own inner masculine wounding and you resonate as a divine feminine, or you resonate as a divine masculine and you are going through a heart chakra activation. It does feel like a massive energy surrounding the heart chakra connected to blocked emotions. So let's talk about this top row because we got quite a few cards out in reverse. And when there's a bunch of cards in reverse, there's either an absence of or there's an extreme of. And so the first card out was the card of movement. It says move on the card. It is a major arcana. It is connected to the Chariot card. It is connected to Cancer. And I do believe this ties into the Mars and Cancer energy. I know there was a huge emotional purging activation when the moon did transit and connect to Mars and Cancer last weekend. And so I think we're still in that energy of like something might have come to a dead stop. This is the energy of becoming untangled as well. We see two people here. I don't know if they've tied the knot or something of the sort, but this could also indicate a breakup. There could be something here that did recently just depart your life. There's a need to find your determination and your strength to go through this very intense emotional wave of energies. I've got to say that. And so 7 is also a divinely guided energy. And so if there's recently been an ending in your life, you have to trust that there was not a possibility to strengthen this bond. And so we get, I'm going to call it the Ace of Pentacles in reversed. I do feel it's the Ace of Pentacles in reversed. And so this is kind of lighten up the path there. I do feel there's a connection here that has really blocked the lighted pathway for you. We see the person's kind of coming out of the forest, and we've talked about that forest energy quite a bit lately on the channel. And we got to go into the forest and feel our way through and come out the other side. And so I do feel there could also be this energy of a huge missed opportunity, with it feeling like the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. There could be a huge financial loss. And the next card out is that win or lose. And I always get that energy of Excalibur's sword. And so there is truth coming forward, right? This is the 5 of Swords in reverse. And so win or lose, right? We're not playing that game anymore as we fully ground in these ascension codes, and we release that third dimensional power and control dynamic with the old timeline. And so there's some truth emerging here, either about a manipulative situation or your own self-sabotaging behaviors here, and that needs to come to light. And so you and only you can choose to create these changes. But I think there's a lot of truth coming through in these energies today. And I did feel throat chakra energy. So let's talk about this middle row, because there is a need to move on. We've got the 8 of Cups. And so I love this card. It reminds me of footprints in the sand, although you see this person walking alone. And so this is really asking you to trust that you are supported by your ancestors, and that you've got thousands of ancestors that came before you supporting you, moving on from anything that isn't serving your path. The 8 of Cups is moving on from disillusionment. It's moving on from illusions. It's moving on from confusion. It's moving on from maybe choices that really weren't the best for you. And so sometimes we do have to walk the solitary path, and we do have to move on, and we have to make sense of all of our negative emotions before we can reach that 9 of Cups. And so there is an ending here. I think there's a very painful ending here, but this is what is required in order to go through this purification, to purify your heart. That's what I'm feeling. And then we get the reach out card, and it is feeling like a 3 of Pentacles in reverse. And so I just feel because it's in reverse, don't reach out. If you've recently gone through an ending, or you're thinking about reaching out to an ex and you survived all Mercury retrograde and you didn't hear from that person from the past, don't reach out. Trust that you've closed out that karmic cycle, as painful as it might be to sit in that realization, to know like, hey, I do have to finally move on. I have to move on from people that don't reciprocate what it is that I put into relationships. Sit there and trust that things will come to you in divine timing. You need to trust that. And I do feel somebody here is gaining a lot of enlightenment, a lot of wisdom. And maybe this has been a process over the last 3 years, but I do feel a massive release here. And then we get the listen card on the bottom row. This is the High Priestess card in reverse. And so this is really asking you to pay attention, right? And so we're not here to be overly reliant on other people's advice. This is all about trusting your inner guidance. I do believe there is a lot of information coming in, and we do need to take that time to be still today and to be quiet and to listen to that inner voice, because we all have a vision, like I talked about in the twin flame forecast, and we have to find that vision again and bring that into our present reality. And we need to trust. We need to trust in the messages that we are receiving. because there's that Fool card. And it is this energy of just embracing the flow of everything right now. And then the last card out was Believe and Succeed. So I do feel there is a need to move on. There is a need. This is like the Six of Wands in reverse. You have to believe in yourself. But if we look at this card upright, it kind of has the Six of Swords feel to it, right? Because we see the boat, we see somebody here might have been tying you down or trying to bring you down. You need to trust that sometimes we do have to go through something that we deeply desire, leaving our lives because it's not meant for us. It's not meant to be on the other side of the success that we're building. 1111 on the timer. And so I feel Spirit here is getting you to calmer waters, and there's a need to release fear about believing in your own success. So really sit with that and ponder with that message today. Let's talk about the bottom of the deck, because we did get the Blossom card. This is the Judgment card. And this really is an energy, I feel, where we are being called to own our light, to fan that light and to spread that light within the collective. We are blossoming, we are growing, we are evolving, we are becoming these enlightened spiritual healers, guides, teachers for others. And then we got the Seek the Truth card, which is piercing the veil of illusion, right? And so this is actually the Seven of Swords card. And so there's duality coming through. We see the two figures on either side of the curtain. And so we're working through a lot of dualistic processes in these energies today. And it does require us to quiet the mind. And so there's going to be some truth being revealed. And we do need to seek that truth. We've got to peel back the layers. We've got to peel back the curtain so we can see the light. The light illuminates the darkness. And then we have to work our way through the shadowy darkness. We've got to integrate those lessons. And there's a lot of truth being revealed connected to manipulative people in our lives. And it might be hard to understand that truth because it creates that splitting of energies. But we do have to keep going towards the light. And so I do think whatever truth is being revealed, it's leading to a Ten of Swords energy, because the next card out was the Three of Swords, which is all about sadness and isolation. And so there is a rebirth happening here, right? And sometimes the worst has to happen. And we do have to go through those moments of painstaking betrayals in order to see the truth, to see the light, to heal the heart. And the only way to really open up the gateway receptor of all of these psychic gifts coming in is to go through that heart chakra activation and that heart chakra purge. And so trust that it will not always be this way. The sadness, the isolation, it serves a purpose. It brings us to that truth, right? It brings us to that state of balance, because 7 and 3 is 10, and 10 breaks down to 1 in numerology. And then I stopped at the balance card, and then I left the base chakra or the root chakra on the bottom of the deck. And so this is the Temperance card. And so there's that energy of duality again coming through. Sagittarius energy, it's a karmic debt number. So right now, collectively, we are going through this Heros Gamos union, but it is a union of self. It is a union of the inner masculine and the inner feminine energies. And it is an energy of bridging the head and the heart and bringing these two opposite polarities into balance inside of us first, so we can then create that shift externally in our reality. And so there is a lot of fear coming up. There is a lot of purging coming up connected to emotional security, financial security, and all of these fears need to be purged. This is where that coiled snake energy does reside. And I did talk about that sacred rage energy in the Twin Flame forecast. If you didn't watch it yesterday, I'll tag it to the end of this video. Go check it out. It was pretty intense. The extended was phenomenal. If you didn't buy the extended, I highly suggest going over there and purchasing that extended. But right now we are in a very sacred portal of energies, releasing rage, connected to all of these root chakra fears and blockages, right? And so if you remember on the cut, we did get that Just Breathe card, but it was upright. And so there's that Four of Swords. And so there's a lot of mirroring. I want to say there's a lot of projection in the energies. And so you don't need to tolerate other people's projections. So take that time to go within, because right now we're being called to breathe ourselves back into life, and we need to pause and we need to reflect as we await these results. And so the seeds that you have planted are growing. That energy is rising, and right now things might feel stuck. They might feel like, hey, things are not progressing, or they're progressing very slowly. But you need to trust this Kundalini energy is moving all the way up to the heart. And then we see that full moon in the background. And so that enlightenment, that truth, those results that you are awaiting are likely going to be released during that full moon in Libra on the weekend. So be patient, rest, reconsider, and take that time today to go within. There's not going to be an extended today. I'm going to leave it at that because I'm going to take my own advice and the advice that I've given all of you, and I'm going to rest and I'm going to reconsider and I'm going to go within. I wish you all a wonderful day, and I do look forward to seeing you all again next time.